Teacher Christy again with Teacher on the Loose. Today, as I promised you yesterday, I'm bringing to you my favorite books. I use books a lot in class. I use books to show different things. I use books as a challenge. I use books with those very fast students that get through. I don't tend to be a teacher who repeats information over and over and over again. If a student really clearly understands it, I'd rather move on to something more challenging. And I found that the parents really, really appreciate that I have books to offer. And even if I just have 2 minutes to look at a couple pages, they feel like I've really prepared. They feel like I've really challenged the students. And so one of the things that I've been using a lot is I use books in many of my classes on a daily basis. I showed this to you last time. This is a book I always use with my young students learning letters. I love this book. I love everything about this book. They love the surprise. A lot of times they can guess. I would say E is for elephant. And I sort of teach them how to use this with the song that I shared in a previous video. Love this book. This was my first very favorite book. This one I did buy new off of eBay or Amazon because it's hard to find used. Great book. I'll put it down below. I use a lot of books by a guy called Charles Reasoner. And the reason why I use this is I tried the flip-up books. You flip the tab, and those are too awkward when you hold up a book like this. So these books are awesome. They tend to be right at the middle age range. They tend to be right at the middle reading levels, and so they're great for anywhere between level 2.8 and 4. And so I have them actually read, and then they love this part. It opens up, and it says, "I'm a spider." So this says, "Who creeps and crawls and lives in a web?" And you say, "I do. I'm a spider." So this one they really, really like a lot. It's easy for me to manage. I always buy the board books instead of the paper books whenever I can, just because it's easier for me to maneuver. That can be a challenge this way, but the kids love it because they know to look for this. I think I have almost all of Charles Reasoner's books, and I'll put it down below. But I have Whose House Is This? Who's Hatching? Whose Mommy Is This? I have several more. I think that he has probably 8 or so of the books. And so these are fabulous, fabulous books. I use them all the time. They're great for if you just do 1 or 2 pages. Other books that I have the How Do You Feel book, which is great. I'm always surprised at how well my young students can read this. So they start out with the same question, "How do you feel, Bear?" And then, "I feel sad." And so we talk about how do you feel. Bright colors, love the picture board. Gives me some interesting thing to work with that we don't cover in our curriculum, like naughty. Naughty is a fun word to teach them. They like naughty a lot. So this is a book that I'll use quite a bit. And we'll talk about, okay, well, why is the dog mad? And so it gives us some emotional things to connect with. And again, a lot of times I'll only read 2 or 3 pages, and I'll say, okay, well, next time we'll continue our book. So it gives them another reason to book with me and something to look forward to and something to say to their mom, "Oh, I want to finish that." More Charles Reasoner's books. They're my favorite. This one is a great one. It takes a little bit for kids. This is one of those pop-up that's a little bit hard to maneuver, but it's called Dear Zoo. It's great for the section that we teach on animal parts, animal body parts. So we go, I ordered a pet, and it was too tall. So we go through this whole thing. Again, the first page or 2, it's a little bit tough for some of them to read once they understand the formula. So then I bought, and then they sent me, and then I sent it back. It becomes very easy for kids to read on their own. The David books are excellent. David Shannon writes books all about David. If you've done there what used to be a David Shannon book in one of the PowerPoints where David goes to school and it's no David this and no David that. Those are the David books. I didn't pick that one because that character is a little scary, in my opinion. But the other O. David books are really funny, and kids really love them. They're really pretty funny. So any of those books by David Shannon, I think I have 3 or 4 that are really pretty funny. I also like Kipper. Kipper's a good book. A little bit harder for me to manage in terms of giving to kids, but they love them. And once they understand Kipper, they go through the process. So this is the first Kipper book I introduce kids to. Average at least 3.3 and above usually. And we talk about Kipper's rainy day. There's another book that is Kipper's year, and it goes through the whole year, and that usually takes a few sessions. Great for when they talk about the years. And so now we're combining the seasons and the years. That's for a higher level reader. So some of these you really have to gauge the reader. That's a pretty high level book. Those ones I use for my very good 3-level, 4-level readers. This is one of the harder ones as well. That works for the clothes section is animals should definitely not wear clothes. And you can see, a snake should not wear trousers because he would lose them. Kids think this is pretty funny. This is great for the session on clothes because that section gets really pretty redundant. So if we cover a couple of pages, every class, they think it's pretty funny. This is the hardest book that I have, and I save it for my very good readers. I just started a student on it today. It tends to be very challenging reading, but they're very rewarded by it. So once they read it, like this one is, whose gray shorts are these? And these are obviously the elephant's gray shorts. It can be a real challenge for them to read, but I have one student who started, and she's actually a 211 student who's very, very, very good. And so we just started this today, and it took quite a while to read the first page, which is great because she's read all my other books. So this one will last a little bit. This is one that I use. It's not necessarily as a reader. This is a logic problem book. This is a great book. I recommend this a whole lot. This is my second favorite book. Find It, First Words. So I use this not necessarily as reading, but if you look at it, you look at the picture, okay? And then they ask a question, right? What is red and has wheels? It's hard for me to read backwards. And so a student reads that, and then they have to find it. What is red and has wheels? So they tell me what it is, and then we chat. Love it. Tons of different pages. Really good for doing one page at a time. Really good. The kids think it's really fun. It's like a game. Especially my boys, it seems to be their favorite thing. And it takes you through several pages. This is Find It, First Words. Again, I'll try to find the title and the author and put it down below. So these are the books that I use. I did the session last time on props, and I use all those props, but I'm finding that I'm using more and more books, and parents love it. Parents love it. Kids love it far more than I would have thought. It's just about choosing books that are easy for me to handle because it can be quite a strand, and also ones that are engaging for kids at different levels. Okay, hope this is very helpful. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.